And we are live with another episode of the Rock Fantasy Files, a new show that I just started and promote my record shop in Middletown, New York. And we have a website, www.rockfantasy.com. If you like what you see, hit subscribe, like, and comment. I've got a special guest tonight, Luca Indrio from
Yes, sir.
Oakland death metal three-piece Necrot. And what's
Correct.
going on in the Necrot world in July of 2020? What's going on?
Well, they canceled all our concerts, but besides that, we got a lot going on because we got a new album coming out, which is called Mortal, and it's coming out at the end of August, on August 28th on Tank Crimes. So we have been trying to keep busy with that, with like the promotion and doing these interviews and whatnot. We're like, keeping our eyes open to see when we'll be able to go on tour again. We actually have our booking agency booking us a tour right now, and with the hope that we'll be able to do it for like early 2021. But yeah, right now we're just trying to survive like everybody else, taking it day by day, try not to lose your mind and trying to keep it together, man. It's like very confusing times we're living, very stressful.
I know. If you start thinking of the future and thinking too much, you'll just self-combust.
Probably, yes. Yeah. It's better to take it slow.
Even in the early parts of the pandemic, it's just like, Steve, don't think about anything but today and now. And I'm like, we're there. So
yeah, that's pretty much what we're doing. We're like, luckily our booking agencies work for us to make sure that once everything comes back to normal, we'll be within the first few bands that get to hit the road again. So it's like we really want to go play these songs live. We took this long, we were supposed to have already the album out in June, and we were supposed to do a full US tour for May, June, and then go to Europe and all that. And the reason why we had to postpone it is because of coronavirus. And then now the album is coming out at the end of August. So we decided to do this very stretched out kind of like pre-order promotion before the album comes out, just because we know that there is not going to be much going on for a while. That's why we've been announcing a new song every month for 3 months until the album actually comes out.
I was listening to a couple of your new tracks off the Spotify. Sounded very good to me.
Thank you.
And when did you record the latest album?
Well, it was recently. We recorded it in January, February 2020.
So you got it in just before all the lockdowns and everything started.
Pretty much. Yeah, pretty much. Exactly. Yes. Because we were on tour for like the longest time, because we went to Australia, Japan. We came back, did the whole US tour for 45 days with Exhumed and Gatecreeper. And then we got back from that, and we had like a month and a half to get ready to go record. And then we finished recording, and we went to play a show in Mexico City.
Yes.
At the beginning of March, and then we got back, and it was lockdown or whatever.
And
slowly
forever.
Totally. And slowly everything started to get canceled and postponed and canceled. So then you start to adjust to know that there's not much going on for the next few months, and all the worries that come with that.
It's tough. All I can say is we try to think of it as a time of reboot, maybe a little bit. It
can really be for a lot of people, definitely. It's a good chance to sit back.
Time with family, and I launched a interview series. I launched a website, so maybe I'm being forced to do things that I normally wouldn't.
That's really cool, man. Awesome.
So you just came off the road with Exhumed, and the pandemic. So you just explained that part to us, because I've talked to so many bands that were on tour during and cut short. A couple bands we talked to that were in Europe, like Death Angel and
we got lucky, man. We got lucky.
Will's a great guy. And you know, I discovered you guys. I'll talk a little bit. You know, I don't want to run the conversation, but I discovered you guys on the Black Dahlia Murder tour. I'm local to the Chance in Poughkeepsie, New York, and it was the package. I believe was Black Dahlia's headlining.
Yes.
Suffocation.
Yes,
Decrepit
correct.
Birth. And
it was Decrepit Birth. Yes. Then did you guys get to see? They ended up dropping the tour at one point. I don't remember if they played that Poughkeepsie show.
They did play Poughkeepsie, and they also played the New York City gig, I believe.
Oh, right on.
So
yeah, because that was the beginning. That was the very beginning of the tour.
Yeah, and it was the beginning because I actually, Hobbs from Suffocation saw me in Poughkeepsie, and I said, well, do you want to come down? I think that was like a Saturday or a Sunday night, and you guys are in the city like on a Tuesday, and he reached out to me and said, could you bring us a few things for the tour? And you know, we drove them down to the show. Unfortunately, you guys were done. It was like super early. I think we got there at like 7, and you guys were done already. I was like, was there another band on that package too that opened up for you?
Yes.
Or were you the opening band?
No, there was another band.
That's what I thought. I can't
Warm Witch from Canada.
That's right, yeah.
From Vancouver.
And then, but about a year later, we got to check you out because you did a really big tour in the States, the Decibel tour.
Yes.
Which was, and New York City, I caught you, I believe it was the PlayStation Theater, what?
Yeah, that's correct.
It was Cannibal Corpse, Morbid Angel.
Morbid Angel. It was us, and then it was Blood Incantation.
Blood Incantation, what an amazing band. But like when a lot of people, you know, I brought some people to the show that weren't familiar with you guys, and like we were all like, you guys were holding your own with the veterans. I thought.
Right on, man. Cheers, thank you.
And then like a day or so later, we took the drive to Worcester, Mass. So we saw that tour twice because I wanted to support my good friends, and I love Immolation. So, and
of course,
if you remember how it was like Cannibal Corpse was there, and then they dropped because they were leaving on another tour, I think.
Oh, true. The last week, yes.
And then Immolation was added, so it was you guys and then Immolation after you, and that was a great. I love that venue in Worcester. Anyhow, what?
Oh yeah,
you guys,
I agree. That
totally killed it on that. How did you get started into music, and where are you from originally? Maybe you want to fill in the viewers today.
Well, I grew up in Italy until I was pretty much 18. Then I moved to London. Then I moved back to Italy, and then I moved to Oakland in 2008 when I was 21. And then I've been playing in bands. I started playing music when I was like really young, when I was like 7 or 8. I started playing guitar, and then I had my first bands. Literally, I had my first like kind of like punk band when I was like 12 with 2 of my friends. And then I started playing more like hardcore and metal when I was closer to like 14, 15. And then got into like, you know, early Sepultura and Venom, Motorhead, and then all the classic death metal, Death, Morbid Angel, all that stuff. And then I started this band in Italy, and then we played some tours. We did a few tours, and then things started, you know, falling apart. So I decided to move to the States. I always wanted to play music. I always wanted to play death metal or like, you know, fast, filthy ass music, and then I found the right people in Oakland, and I started playing right away with this band called Acephalix and this other band called Vastum. And then I started Necrot around 2011 when I was 24, together with Chad, our drummer, that he was 20 at the time.
Yeah.
And we started recording Necrot tapes.
Yeah.
But that was like mostly like to me, Necrot was like, you know, the way to channel exactly what I wanted to do. Because in other bands, I always felt like I needed to depend on other people to make the band go on and whatnot. And mostly I've been like disappointed with that because the level of like how hard I wanted to do things would never match people in the other bands with me. And then ultimately I found it in Chad, and then Sonny joined the band that has got the same mentality that we have. So it's like, you know, we go and do this as much as we can, you know what I mean? Playing more than 100 shows a year, you know, until the pandemic, and like, you know, recording and writing songs and do everything you need to do to be a band. It's exciting for us.
Yeah, I think the shirt I've got on now was the Blood Offering. I probably got this on the tour with Cannibal Corpse. I maybe even got it with
No,
Suffocation.
that one is on the. We only did that on the Suffocation tour. We never
Oh, so
made
this
that
isn't
T-shirt
an
again.
oldie. I know it's a little tight. I've been drinking and eating too much
You
during the
got.
pandemic.
It's got the dates in the back if you look.
Yeah, it probably does, but there's no mirror behind me. So the Blood Offerings, when you put that out, what, 2017?
That was 2017. Yes.
And where was that recorded?
At the same place as we recorded this one,
Okay.
here Hammer Studios in Oakland
Okay.
with Greg Wilkinson.
Okay.
And
I thought like the Blade, the title track, not the title track, but the first track that comes off that, it's such a nasty one. And Shadows
Thank
and
you.
Light. I always loved that, Shadows and Light.
Cheers, man.
And I discovered you guys, and I went up to the booth and I said, well, do you want to sell me a little vinyl for the store? And you definitely.
Oh, I told I'm putting it back together now. Totally.
Yeah,
It's been a minute, but yes.
We grabbed a few albums and started selling them at the store because I wasn't quite sure how to get in touch, get a hold. I don't know if my One Stop had them at the time. And obviously, what were some of your influences getting into metal? Are you the punk, you said, and the Sepultura? We kind of covered that already.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure. But like, early Sepultura and a lot of the classics of death metal, for sure.
And who were you going out with this summer, or can't we say?
What do you mean?
The tour that was ill-fated that you were planning going out May, June, July. Did you?
Oh shit! Well, we were supposed to do a U.S. tour as headliners, and part of the tour we were gonna have this band Fetid from the Portland that they were gonna open for us.
Okay.
And then there was gonna be 5 of the shows of the tour that were gonna be with Bloodbath on the East Coast, and they were already announced. And then the tour on the tour in Europe was supposed to be with Exhumed again.
So
and
you were going to play with Bloodbath, is that what you said?
Correct, on the East Coast. There was going to be 5. There was already a flyer out for that. That was at the end of May.
They were coming in to do MDF.
There you go. Yes, and then play a few shows around there.
New York City. Now, they were supposed to come like 2 years ago. I had tickets for that. And they canceled then, and then now you mentioned that, and then they were coming back over this year, and then the pandemic canceled, so it's like been impossible for me to come.
Right.
Bloodbath, and Jonas, and from I love Catatonia also, that Jonas' other main project.
Hopefully next time, man.
Third time's a strike, right?
Right. You might get lucky.
Anything you'd like to add today? Anything that you got going on? And I see you've been putting up a lot about the metal against racism. I thought that was quite interesting.
Oh yeah, we have been kind of like started that little project and like to open up a dialogue about it. And like a lot of people have been getting involved, and it's like we've been pretty happy about the response. And like it's giving the chance to people of seeing issues from a different angle, because it's like we have to consider the fact that it's like Black people are still such a huge minority in the metal scene, even just going to shows and whatnot. And it's like it's good. It's always good to give a little bit of space and voice to people that their point of views usually are hard to be shared or felt for, because it's like they don't affect you, like they don't affect me, like, you know what I mean? But like at the same time, it's like I'm extremely interested in opening a dialogue and learning and hearing out from any minority or any people that have to, that they can express a discomfort inside of a scene, like metal scene, that should be super open to everybody who's into like, heavy music and like, you know what I mean? That's what the fucking scene is about. So it's like whoever brings in discriminatory factors into the metal community, like, you know what I mean? Oh, you're too Black, you're too fat, you're a woman, or this and that. It's like, you're gay. It's like, we don't need none of that. We need the music to bring people together. And it's like, sometimes people have like behaviors that without realizing that they're wrong, they perpetuate. You know what I mean?
Oh,
And
I
it's like, so
agree with that.
sometimes
I agree with that
sometimes it's
completely.
good to
Some
get, you
people
know,
don't even think that they, you don't think, yeah.
they don't
Yeah.
realize they're doing anything wrong. So it's like
Yeah.
sometimes I think it's a good time to bring in front of their face what's more important. And what's more
Yeah.
important is like, you know, to keep on check this behavior so everybody can feel more comfortable. Because it's like, I'm hoping to have more, you know, people of color starting bands or coming to shows because they feel more comfortable. It's like, you know, we need more people to get into metal. We don't need
Yeah.
less people. That's how
You
I
know,
feel.
as a person, you know, I think I go to New York City shows a lot. So New York City shows to me are pretty mixed with the different, you know, with different
Well,
color.
we're pretty lucky here in the Bay Area too, in, you know, a multicultural community, definitely.
That's
In New
what I meant
York
to
as
mean,
well. But
yeah.
like, you know, we travel a lot. We played in everywhere, you know. We have
And I'm
seen a lot
sure
of like, you know, different
different
scenarios.
cities are different, you know, different, yeah, for
Definitely.
sure. Like in New York City, you know, I have many South American friends that I meet up that I never see anywhere except at the shows. And without the South American show people in New York City, sometimes the shows would be pretty lame because they just eat
Bring
the
that energy.
and I love their enthusiasm when I go down and we'll sit and have a beer and we'll talk about music the whole time, you know.
Absolutely, yeah.
But yeah, I'm glad we got to talk today. Is anything else you'd like to add? A little bit more, maybe a little bit more about the new album. Anything you want to get across on that?
Well, I think that, like, you know, with the new album, if anybody that checked out and liked Blood Offerings, I think they're gonna like Mortal. I think it's a step forward for the band.
Mhm.
Because it's like we had the chance of touring for 3 years and touring with a lot of really great bands and like improving so much just as far as just confidence with our instruments and everything.
Yes.
So it's like, to anybody who likes death metal or like, you know, I encourage to check our new album out for sure. And also, like, if I can give a shout out to our own, we have an online store where you can pre-order the record.
Of course, please.
And it's necrot.bandcamp.com. Pretty much is our Necrot Bandcamp page.
Mhm.
And we made a bunch of merch, and we got, you know, the pre-orders on the new album. And it's like, we've been taking like a serious hit from all these shows being canceled and all these insecurities. So if anybody can support the band, and if they like the album, they want to pre-order it, is greatly appreciated. And thank you for, you know, having me on your show, man. I appreciate that too.
Thank you for being on the show because it's new and I'm not exactly a professional at this, but you know,
nobody is, man.
Here's my prop.
Killer. Killer, man. Cheers. Look, I got Pacifico.
Let's talk about this beer now. What was the story behind this?
Well, the story behind the beer is that it's like we were supposed to play the Decibel Beer and Metal Fest in Philadelphia.
Oh, yeah.
At the beginning of April. And it was going to be for us the premiere of one of the songs from the album. And we had this brewery company. Well, what's the name of it? You probably have it on the beer. I forgot it.
It says Adroit Theory.
There you go, Adroit Theory. Yes, they contacted us and to make a beer for the Beer and Metal Fest.
Yeah.
For the Beer and Metal Fest, and like that felt true because it got canceled, but like, you know, they still made the beers. So they ended up selling them mostly online, I think, instead of selling them at the show.
Yeah, my buddy Ben Worth is a good friend of mine. It goes to a lot of shows, younger kid, and he actually ordered them from you. He went down and saw you on the Exhumed tour. I think that was in New York City.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Oh, that show was great in Brooklyn.
So you were part of that. That was a giant weekend of metal. That was in New York City. That first weekend of April in Philadelphia combined. You had the Mayhem tour coming into town.
Right. Yeah. That old shit. Yeah, it all got canceled.
You had Bortnagar, Rotting Christ in New York City on Friday. You had one of the folk metal bands, Tyr, was there with Trollfest. Satan was in New York City that weekend with Haunt. And when
everybody was there.
And you were playing on the Philly Fest, so you were probably coming into New York City that weekend too, around then, huh?
Well, no, we were just gonna fly to do that one show.
Oh, you were
because
just
we
coming
were
in to do the Decibel
yeah,
Fest. Okay.
because a month and a half later we were supposed to play again in New York with Bloodbath.
Oh yeah, okay,
So
okay.
you're
Yeah.
not allowed to have two shows with the proximity too close
Yes.
to each other.
Yes, yes.
So
of
we would
course.
have come back in May and do the part of our full US tour.
Mhm.
We just got screwed on so many cool shit, man, that was coming up for us. But hopefully we'll get back to do that later on.
I don't want to sound like those sappy commercials, but we're all in this shit together. At least my store is open, but
oh no, but we all,
everybody,
I mean, like, you know, we are all missing out, not just us playing the show, but also all the people we're gonna go to the show and have a good time. You know what I mean? Those Decibel Fests are sick. I don't know if you've ever been to one.
I've never been to the Decibel Fest. I've
you
been to
get
a
like
bunch of the
you get like
tours.
You get a beer cup where you can drink as much as you want all day. And there is all this super cool band. You know what I mean? It's like we already played it.
It sounds like
it's
a blast.
Good, man.
It sounds similar to the 70,000 tons of metal. Have you ever done that?
Never done that. They should invite us though. They never invited us.
Well, they should.
They'll invite us one point, man.
All right. Well, thanks for coming on tonight, and this will probably come up on. I'll hit you up, and I'll let Liz know when I'm going to put this up. Probably either Thursday or Friday. We'll put this up on the air, and I can share it around to you and whomever else.
Right on, man. All right, dude. Thanks for the call, man.
All right, and find us rockfantasy.com. Hit subscribe, hit like, mention, go check out Necrot if you've never heard him before. Please go pop them on and drink some beer. Well,
cheers, beer. Man.
Drink some. Yeah.
That's so cool, man. You got the beer with you. Have a good one, brother. Hopefully I'll see you on the East Coast, man, when the show starts again, brother.
Yeah, say hello to the other guys in the band for me, please.
Will do, absolutely.
Rock on, brother.